What's going on? We rocking with hip hop since 1987. It's your man Eldorado. We live at ATL right now, and I have the honor and the privilege of being with a member of the Aphilliates, one of Philadelphia's own DJ Sent. I appreciate you taking this time out and rocking with us today, good brother. We're gonna hop right into this interview. As I mentioned, you're a native of Philadelphia. We're currently in the Atlanta area and whatnot. Could you tell us a little bit about maybe the trials and tribulations of moving from Philly to Atlanta and getting your career started?
Well, let me put it all together. Probably one of the thing that we probably had, the biggest hurdle that we probably had to jump over was not being from the South and you know, receiving that embracement, being an out-of-towner. So, but what we did though, that was really smart is you want to embrace where you at. You know what I'm saying? So that was like one of the elements of what, even why we, you know, came up with our mixtape series and the whole Aphilliates brand is we knew he was from Philly, but we knew, you know, we went to school in the A, me, drama and Cannon on with the car. And we knew that Atlanta was on the verge of being that platform with music, and we knew we wanted to be in the cornerstone of that. So what we did was, you know, we just got on some. Instead of, you know, getting frustrated about it, you embrace it, and we said, look, well, let's take our elements that we learned being from the East Coast. Let's imply all of that, you know, with Southern artists, and you know, because at this point, everybody knows anybody can spit. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's talented. It don't matter where you're from. You know what I'm saying? So we really wanted to take the elements that we grew up on. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, growing up listening to the Clues, the Green Lanterns, the Flexes, being from Philly, the Cosmic Cats, the DJ Rands, etc., etc. That whole element, and applying it to Southern artists. You know what I'm saying? That's why we put a lot. Like even when Tip first used to come through and rock with us, putting him on over East Coast beats, but he had that Southern swag and that Southern flow, and it was hot. You know what I'm saying? And that I feel like we kind of can take credit for that, implying that, and that's what really embraced that whole connecting those dots from the South to the East Coast, going through the Midwest all the way to the West Coast, and then eventually being worldwide. Like it was like the first of its kind, and that was like kind of the cornerstone behind how we was doing our mixtape. So that was the hurdle. It was just being smart and figuring out how to get over the hurdle. Now when we first started, some, you know, people always want to tell you like, well, they don't like mixtapes like that, they don't like music done like that. But if you look at any of the most successful people in any genre, any business, whatever you want it to be, being the first at something always gives you that credibility. And then all of a sudden, a domino effect just start taking place. And then now that's the thing. Like people now, Atlanta's such a hot platform. Everybody want to rock with Atlanta, and you know, and come to Atlanta and do what they got to do. But it was a time where that was the first of its kind in its own, you know what I mean, in its own respect.
I dig that. You guys are definitely, the Affiliates were very responsible and influential.
And you even know what Affiliates means?
No, sir.
We came up with Affiliates. It's because we was in the A, but we're from Philly. That's why we got the PH in there. This is double meaning. We represent the A and Philly, but we affiliated with anything that's hot. That's the whole concept behind Affiliates exclusive.
You got some exclusive information during the interview and whatnot.
Yeah, shout out to my man Ace McCloud too, came up with that with us too. You know, he's definitely representative of the Affiliates. I want to make sure that's definitely heard. You know what I mean?
I respect that. Big shout out to Ace. Definitely a big shout out to Ace. Being pioneers, you could say, and you know, transcending Southern music to the East Coast and other regions and whatnot. What would you say is the key to remain successful in today's era?
You gotta, you know, Green Lantern said a funny comment. He said, one thing about hip hop, you could be 40 years old and still be on some 18-year-old shit. It's being relevant with the game. Like, you know, as time progressed, social media, like what's going on right now with hip hop since 1987, all those things. Like when we first started, the internet game wasn't the main thing. It was bootlegging CDs and all that. But you gotta be on top of the game, you gotta be ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta stay relevant with what's going on right now. You know, you can't be on some dinosaur shit and stick to old ways. If you see something coming ahead of the curve, you wanna be on top of that, and you wanna continue to educate yourself and make sure that makes sense with what's going on, relevant right now with music. Who's coming up, who's doing what? You wanna be ahead of the curve. You gotta be like damn near like a nerd with this shit. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be just into the shit and make sure like, oh, okay, boom, let me digest that, let me, you know what I mean, comprehend all of that, boom, all right, let's do it. And then just staying like that consistently, you know what I mean? That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. It actually makes a lot of sense. For anyone that was paying attention, you just dropped some key jewels on how to be successful, how to remain relevant.
Yeah.
I also gotta ask, you give a mention to T.I. You guys were very influential in the beginning stages of T.I.'s career.
I can name a whole bunch. Jeezy, T.I., Luda. I mean, go down the list. And we done had everybody. You know, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Drum told you about the shack that we had. I don't know if he put that in there, but we got the world famous shack that, you know, me and Drama had this duplex. And we was broke as shit, taking cold showers. You know what I mean? It just was on the grind and on the hustle. But the one thing that I give a lot of artists credit, a lot of them that's like multi-platinum to this day, when they was on their grind, they didn't give a fuck about that. I had Monica come to my house because I used to be Monica's DJ, and I did a mixtape, my first Rhythm and Streets, because you know I do the R&B series on that tip too. She did Rhythm and Streets 1, pulled up with the fly bends and all that hood shit, and she just came and just did what she had to do. You know what I'm saying? So that was the whole element about that. It's just it wasn't about no superficialness. It was about the love of what people do, the love of the grind, the love of music, and it didn't matter about all the other shit around it.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. We're working with Luda, Jeezy, T.I. in the beginning stages of their career when Atlanta music was really beginning to bubble, and seeing how Atlanta pretty much has the game on smash right now, at Trinidad James, B.O.B., etc. How do you feel Atlanta music has grown, and where do you see Atlanta music going in the future?
One thing I like that I can say about Atlanta is it's a very progressive city creatively, and that's what I even like about just the culture of music in Atlanta. Like, you know, if you ever be around like a Future, you know what I'm saying? Very, very creative. Like, that's who he is as a person. You around Tip, you know what I mean? Tip got a very charismatic personality. That's who he is as a person. And that's what I could kind of give the definition of the city of Atlanta. Like, his people just being themselves, and Atlanta, it has just been blessed with being that city of that progressive creative style going all the way back. You just seen Big Boy just left Outkast. I mean, they've been doing that since we first came down here back to the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about Atlanta, and it continues to be as creative as possible, progressive and competitive, you know what I'm saying? All in the same light, but it's all good for the culture, you know what I mean? I think that's what keeps the platform of Atlanta going, you know, like even the way you gotta break music, like this the strip club capital, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, a lot of records come from that strip club element, you know what I'm saying? And it's very powerful out here, you know what I'm saying? It's very powerful, so like it's just very unique when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, music. Like, it's just the music, you know what I'm saying? And I just love the way it just dictates a lot of what's going on in hip hop right now.
I can definitely dig it. The Aphilliates vehicle is heavy in the streets in the South, heavy in the streets of Atlanta. What can we look forward to in the remainder of 2013 from DJ Sim?
Oh, that's a lot of things, man. You know, of course, like on the radio side, you know, we syndicated in several markets in the South. Of course, we don't have on Southern Atlanta, Gangsta Radio. We on Sirius Satellite XM Shade 45 Friday nights. Also, you know, we do a lot of things on the executive side. We got artists that are development. I got stars lined up to be on the lookout for that. You know what I mean? And we just expanded the brand. We got production, you know what I'm saying? Cannon doing his thing. Man, V2 other Hitman, he doing his thing. It's just being in the cornerstone and having a good space within music. So we taking what we did on a street mixtape level and just trying to and just graduating it to an executive level. The same concepts that we did breaking artists and music. Now it's time to develop and really put them out and build stars that represent the Aphilliates brand, the Rhythm and Streets brand, the Gangsta Grill brand, the Cannon Music brand. I mean, it just go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If we wanted to reach you via social media, Facebook, Twitter, let the people know where they can contact you.
On Twitter at DJ Sense, Instagram Trendsetter Sense, Facebook Trendsetter Sense. I mean, holla at me, you know what I mean? RhythmandStreets.com. You know what I'm saying? Like we doing everything. It's coincide everything. We just trying to be on the cornerstone of all brands when it comes to music. You know, even graduating the urban into the pop side. But even on that tip, you want to start. If you come from a foundation of urban music, then you gotta make sure that you conquer that world and graduate it on the pop side. But it's just it's such a worldwide thing. You dig what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you got knowledge and information in all genres, starting from urban. Am I making sense to
You
you?
making a lot of sense. I hope you making sense to the people out there that listening and need to take in this valuable information.
Yeah.
It's your man Eldorado, hip hop since 1987. We're live in Atlanta, the one and only DJ Sense. Make sure y'all check out hip hop since 1987 and check us out daily.
I'm rocking with y'all too, man. I'm glad y'all doing, you're expanding this brand, taking it to that was a great move, man. Really, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Shout out my man Rick Daniels.
Yeah.
Shout out hip hop since 1987, niggas. Hip hop since 1987.com.